Yeah, this one's way overdue. Between the plethora of comments asking me to play it, to the few actually inquiring about why I don't want to run it, it's about time I've officially gone on record in a video directly addressing this, because I really wish to stop seeing these requests, even when they're in a joking manner, because it's just not even funny anymore. My replies to comments and past community posts haven't seemed to quite get that message across, so this is my last resort, and my final time I'll talk about this. Seriously, before you comment below, watch this entire thing. I know this will likely be sort of a long video, but I have to make this long to cover all the bases, so I won't have to address this ever again. If you can't watch this in one go, please just come back to this video later when you have time. Just please don't leave a comment while not even hearing me out first. That happens a lot. If anyone's a fan of Roam Mithril, this video's title might have brought in some deja vu for you. It's ironic how I'd have to make a similar video like his Mega Man X one, though unlike his video covering this type of topic, I don't necessarily have such a strong opposition towards ZXA as he does towards the X series. In fact, I quite enjoy Advent. Not sure why folks automatically assume that I hate the game just because I don't want to challenge run it, but I'll explain my reasoning behind that in a bit. Allow me to reiterate, because apparently I can't stress it enough, I do not hate ZX Advent. I fear because of my runs of the previous 5 games in the Zero ZX series, there's a ridiculously high expectation for me to uphold, that I have to play Advent next to produce a similar quality run, when in reality that's impossible in accordance to my playstyle. The expectation of me pulling off something stellar with Advent stems from this, due to my history with this franchise and a general lack of understanding of how Advent is designed from the general player base's perspective. I quite literally can't produce a quality run similar to ZX, because the game was simply not designed that way. The Guardian forms transition through countless nerfs, some like Model F receiving a little buff, but it's Model F. In conjunction with the overdrive mechanic being completely scrapped for balance reasons. This may have helped power down the likes of Model H, but this royally fucked over forms like Model P, who really needed that damage boost from overdrive. And H ended up staying one of the best forms anyway despite this. The fact that moves were separated between Ash and Gray further complicated and dumbed down the technicality of the game. Can't really take advantage of Model P's new shield as Ash without losing the Shuriken, for an example. And when you do play with Gray, Shuriken got nerfed from a level 1 charge to level 2. Stuff like that and in combination of combo linearity does not lend itself well to stylish gameplay on par with ZX. But then there's the elephant in the warehouse that needs to be addressed. Exclusivities in the form of A-Trans shifting, right? Those should hold some value to technical play in additional combo game, yes? Well, no. Take a look at Meta X's combo table here and tell me what you see. I'll give you a few moments to figure it out first. Yes, if you're reading the table right, you'll see that every single A-Transform's attacks have the exact same fucking combo value. What were they thinking with this? I'll go into this in more detail with the ZX combo system video I'm making as we speak, as well as provide Meta X's tables there, but simply put, each A-Transforms lacking any combo values for their attacks literally gates you out from being creative with them in battle. And the thing is, that's sort of intentional by design, which is what I'm getting at here. These forms are meant largely for situational purposes to progress the game, not necessarily for general purpose combat. That makes Advent more prone to falling on classic design, and essentially is telling you that you're playing a predominantly different game than the previous 5. There's nothing wrong with that per se, just that for the challenge run format and my personal playstyle while carrying out said runs, you can't expect me to do anything with that which you are used to seeing from me. Most importantly, the game's design just doesn't make for a very fast-paced or entertaining run, at least on the recorded side of things. I know better than anyone about my own playstyle, and what makes it enticing to an outsider's perspective. Advent has massive pacing issues that halt the momentum entirely, from forcing you back to Model A for every important cutscene to, again, force swapping to a pseudoroid form to progress in certain areas of stages. This leaves no room for creativity in a run meant to be published to YouTube and not relying on copy and paste strategies from other runs uploaded to this platform. The linearity of the stage design does not lend itself to unique traversal, which was the main hook to the Zero series and even ZX, so you can't really say it was just a Zero series thing. I'm also going to nip something in the bud before I get any comments on it, because I know that I'll receive those type of comments. I'm in no way trying to imply that it's either my style or no dice. I've already parroted myself several times in my videos that I'm an advocate for playing however you'd like. So wouldn't you say that I have the right to not wanting to play a game for my channel that I know won't be the most satisfying to record based off on how it's designed? I value technicality and style above all else when it comes to recording my more serious runs for this channel. At the same time, folks do confuse my style for speedrunning when I can tell you right now that I'm not a speedrunner. I'm a challenge runner who just happens to play really fast during. Honestly, that's a separate video I need to make too, because for some reason challenge running and speedrunning have seemed to overlap with each other too much, due to the nature of challenge running gameplay that Maverick Hunter and myself drop with consistency. So I need to help folks distinguish the two. All in all, this is why expectations of me being able to make magic happen with Advent needs to, quite frankly, stop. As much as I love to produce a stylish run similar to 01 through 4 and ZX for Advent, you're asking for something that's quite literally impossible to make a reality. If you don't believe anything I've said here, literally boot up ZXA and attempt to replicate anything remotely similar to what I've pulled off in all of the ZX content that I've uploaded to this channel and my Twitter clips. I know this video's been primarily negative about Advent, but I promise you that this does not reflect on my overall opinion about the game. A lot of misinformation has spreaded that I hate the game just because I don't want to play it for this channel, and that can't be further from the truth. Like I said earlier, the way the game's designed isn't inherently a bad thing. Advent wasn't meant to be played like the previous games, and that's just something we all have to accept instead of being delusional otherwise. When I came to terms with that, I enjoyed it a lot more casually. In fact, I find myself playing Advent in downtime quite a bit just to unwind from all the craziness that I put myself through with the other 5 games of the Zero ZX series. When I don't have to stress keeping up high momentum and just take it all in, the level design, while rushed and a lot of reused aspects from ZX in the later half of the game, it's still pretty unique and a breath of fresh air. If you ask me, I personally feel Advent's story, when you take the voice acting out of the equation, is better than ZX's, and Albert is a far more compelling antagonist than Serpent could ever dream to be. If the game was designed like ZX, Advent would have been one of my favorites among these 6 games. The bosses are also very memorable. I just wish I could immerse myself in them as much as I could with ZX, but unfortunately a pipe dream. So yeah, that's more or less my stance on that. Hopefully this video will be the end of this little saga. As much as I appreciate every comment I receive, please don't try to convince me anymore to play this game for the channel. Any suggestion you present that would make Advent fun to run will not change how I feel, or give me any incentive to run it. I'd like to run the game just for completion's sake, but then I'd be doing both the game and my viewers a disservice by forcing myself to play a game I know I won't enjoy recording a run or boss rush video for. Literally about the only sort of enjoyment on a technical level I've received from Advent are hacks to the game that Meta X has made, such as giving Model ZX more options for combo game, and making tweaks so it's not just rolling / cheese. Said hack is what most of the on-screen footage is from. Please do not request links to this mod at this time, as it's an incomplete project and I wish to respect Meta's work. I'm sure he'd want these modifications to be up to his own standard before I can help promote it. Still, the fact that the fans themselves kind of have to fix the combo potential kind of hurts. Of course, you can lend that to Advent suffering from a massive rush of development, but at the end of the day, I can't be too hard on it in that regard. Now, as much as I've been in opposition about playing Advent, this video does not mean that at some point in the future I won't change my mind. Once Meta has the time to mod Advent the way he wants to, that likely encouraged me to run the game to be sort of a beta tester and generally just giving his hacks more exposure, but I'm not a clairvoyant. That's all I've got left to say. Please don't leave any nasty comments, as I get enough of those as is, and at the end of the day, this is all just my opinion, and I have the right to it, so don't take anything personal. That likely encouraged me to run the game to be sort of a beta tester for baiter. Metal, why do I always screw up my words whenever the subject is kind of pointed at you? It's kind of fucked up, man. I didn't steal your bottle, alright? That's all I've got left to say. Please don't leave any nasty comments, as I get enough of those as is, and at the end of the day, this is all just a... Ew, I licked my freaking pop filter. Ew. Yuck. Nasty.